Right guys, hi, this is AOD Fitness here with our Open 20.1 breakdown with me, Adam and Harry. So the workouts start off with 10 rounds for time, 8 grounds overhead at 43 kilos for the guys, 29 kilos for the ladies, and then 10 bar facing burpees. 15-minute time cap on this workout, okay? 15-minute time cap, that's going to be quite an aggressive time cap for a lot of us to finish in. We've already got a couple of scores down from the live announcement that we can see. Scott Planchette finished in 9:22, Rich Ferroni finished in 10 minutes. So that only leaves 5 minutes for the rest of us to try and finish this workout, so it is going to be quite tough. We've got down a few different time domains here that we think people will be hitting into. So those games athletes are looking around that 10-minute mark, okay? Some falling quite a lot faster than that, probably around 9 minutes. Some a little bit slower, but roughly that 10-minute mark. Those really good scores are going to be anything sub 12, okay? That's going to be your sanctional athletes. Good scores are going to fall in that 12 to 14 minute range, and then mere mortals like myself and a lot of us just doing open for fun, it's going to be 14 minutes plus, or maybe even get capped out, okay? So because it's such a long workout, 15 minutes for an open workout is fairly long, we're going to have to really think about our pacing from the start. So the first thing to talk about is our snatch and our clean and jerk, okay? Whether we're going to go singles, whether we're going to cycle, whether we're going to go clean and jerks. So, Harry, when would you say for someone to go unbroken on the snatch? When would you say someone should stop breaking the snatch? When would you say they need to start going towards that clean and jerk mark? Let's start with the unbroken level to begin with.
Yeah, so all of these guys here up until this really good point are all going to probably be going unbroken on their snatches. And then coming a bit past this is going to be probably about 1 break per round, looking at going like a 4-4, 5-3 kind of split. And then past that, I guess you're looking at breaking 3+ times. And then past that, if we're having to break more than 3 times, I'm going to advise you to go for snatch singles. This is generally going to be if the snatch weight, so 43, 29 kilos, is going to be 60 to 70% of your 1 rep max power snatch. That being about 70 for guys as a 1 rep max and 45 for girls. And then even further, if it's an even greater percentage of your 1 rep max, so 70 plus, which would be about 65 for men, 40 for women, I'm going to say that you go clean and jerk singles. Now on this, I don't think you should resort to using clean and jerks until it gets to this point. You're going to be much better off just going snatch singles than trying to cycle clean and jerks a load as well.
Would you say that's for a speed point of view, the reps are just faster, or would you see that because it taxes you a little bit less?
I'd say that's because a clean and jerk is effectively 2 movements, so it's going to spike your heart rate a little more for not really loads of gain time-wise, especially if you're going to be going unbroken. And going snatch singles is going to help you keep your heart rate down and then push the burpees a lot harder.
Yeah, I personally find as well that if I'm trying to even not cycle or even do clean and jerk singles, but that drop in portion, or when you're trying to cycle a clean jerk, is a lot slower than a snatch is. And that as well, when you're dropping, if you do go to snatch singles, when you're dropping that barbell, it's going to be bouncing quite a lot, isn't it? So you want to make sure that you really follow that barbell down. Stop it on the floor so you can get straight back into that next rep. Okay, you don't want that barbell bounce all over the place, going in someone else's lane if you're doing the workout next to people. Perfect. Okay, so going from that snatch point of view, then transition to our burpees. Okay, so you finish your 8 grounds overhead, you're then going to go into your 10 bar facing burpees. Now the first thing to think is as soon as you finish that last rep, you want to go straight into your first burpee. Okay, there's no point taking a few seconds there. There's not a difference of resting and taking a couple of breaths or just dropping straight into it. You can still breathe through those burpees, okay? So finish your last rep, straight into your first rep of your burpee. Then it's how we perform those burpees. So we've got a few different methods, okay? We can step and swivel, we can do a 2-footed jump up, loads of different variations, which we're actually going to talk about now with Harry demoing for me. So the first variation Harry's going to do is just the classic step up and jump over the bar. So when he jumps his feet back, tries to minimise that press, jumps 1 foot up into the bar and then steps over. So fairly slow, but again that heart rate is going to stay quite low and he's going to be able to move through those nice and easy. Okay, rest there, Has.
Yeah.
Okay guys, so the second variation we're going to look at is stepping up to the side of the barbell on a little swivel, okay, to minimise that distance towards the bar. So Harry's going to demonstrate a couple of little reps, stepping up one leg on the inside towards the bar to minimise that distance and start turning as he gets over the barbell. Perfect. And then that final variation we have, guys, is our double foot jump up. Now this isn't going to be used by the majority of us until we get into those last couple rounds, okay? I'm trying to keep it as fast as possible, that little sprint to the finish. That's there. Okay guys, so final couple things to talk about for our burpees, okay? Number one is that efficiency and trying to stay as close to the bar as possible to minimize any little sort of small step you have to take. So Harry's going to demo a couple of our most efficient ways. Stepping to the side, lovely. Notice also how Harry is turning in the air, so that once he lands on the other side of the bar, he can jump his feet straight back. Again, he doesn't have to take another step.
Right then, and then just to finish up, we're going to talk about a couple of tips that we're both going to have just to make the workout move a lot smoother, and those small little details that are going to make up the 1%. First one for me, which is going to be a big one, is sweatbands. Often really underrated as a piece of kit, but basically it's going to stop your palms and everything getting sweaty. It's going to eliminate the need to have to chalk through the workout. And then another one, which is another good 1%er, is your plates. Making sure you haven't got plates on that are going to bounce all over the place. So as soon as you drop the bar, it stops dead. You don't have to touch it, maneuver or anything. You can just get rolling from there.
Yeah, perfect. Yeah, mine too. So the first one is back on those burpees. Okay, we've seen a little bit of a different standard now from last year with those burpee no reps. So previously, if you got a no rep on your jump over the burpee, all you had to do is come back around and do another jump over. But how we're reading the standards is this time is you have to come back and do the whole burpee again. Okay, so chest to the floor, come up and then jumping over. So that's one just to mention. The second one is going to be those rest times then and pacing. So we spoke about going straight into that first rep of your burpee after you finish the snatches. So obviously you are going to have a little bit of rep break somewhere in this workout. So a good way to think of it is you finish one round, so I do my 8 and 10, I'm then going to take my 5 seconds, okay, or a couple big breaths, and then go back to my barbell, okay, so I'm not rushing back into it, I'm allowing my heart rate to try and come down, get some oxygen back in, and go from there. On that note of the rest is, wherever you do find you are having to rest, especially for those people aiming for this 14 minute plus time, just trying to get the workout done, you are going to have to rest in place. It's just what's going to happen with your breaks or whatever it is. Try and keep your rests as consistent as possible, okay? So I think 5 seconds here, back to the barbell. 5 seconds, back to the barbell, okay? You don't want to be having a big 30-second break somewhere because you pushed it too hard, and then other way you're trying to sprint through it, okay? Nice and consistent, nice and steady pace through the whole way. Pacing is going to be key on this first workout, guys.